A young Chinese couple moved to the US with their baby, and for 4 years they were struggling to make ends meet. So when the woman found out she was pregnant again, she was really upset.
Another child? Even one is too much.
Just then, her husband burst in and said he'd found an investor for his business.
Oh honey, our luck is about to turn.
And it did. Within a few months, the man's business was booming. They moved to a lovely house where they welcomed their second child, who was me. Hi, my name is Gia, which means extraordinary. Before I continue, please like and subscribe. My parents could spend hours gazing at me. They thought I was perfection itself and they gave me everything. I literally grew up with a silver spoon in my mouth. All was perfect except for one problem. My older sister, Mia, she was weird. She would just glare at me or wake me up in the middle of the night. On my first birthday, my parents threw a huge party for the entire neighborhood as everyone gathered around the table. Then suddenly Mia jumped onto it.
I've never had a birthday party. I've never even had a cake. Why does she get everything?
Is that girl your daughter? You never mentioned any other kid than Gia.
Screamed, and then she went all Godzilla on my cake. She was banned from the party and my parents arranged for another cake within minutes. As I got older, I started realizing that my parents were really unfair to Mia. When I was 5, I got all the presents I wanted for Christmas, but she looked really mad at hers.
Why would you give me these ugly socks and a geography book?
What's wrong with the book? If you opened one, sometimes your grades would be better.
Why are you guys always like this with me, and never with Gia?
Because Gia is perfect. She's just easier to love.
I felt terrible as Mia's eyes welled up and she stormed off. She wouldn't even join us for the Christmas party, so I took food up to her room. Hey Mia, I brought you all your favorite.
Don't even bother, which nothing you could ever do would make me hate you less.
The next day I was flipping through Gia's geography book when Mom said,
"Oh honey, you won't understand that you are too little."
"Yes, I do. Mom and I just learned the names of all 50 states. Want to hear them?" I rattled off the entire list and everyone stared at me.
You little genius, you just keep amazing me. This has to be some kind of world record, right?
My parents called every newspaper in town to come interview their wonder kid, and I was suddenly famous. Mom and Dad were showing me off everywhere, but even worse, they enrolled me in a fancy private school, not the public one where Mia was. As I was going in our limo on my first day, we drove past Mia walking to her school, and I felt sad. Why can't she go to my school, Mom?
Because she's dumb, sweetheart, and your school is so expensive. Why should we waste money on her? You're the one with the big bright future, so you're worth it then.
And I just kept growing further apart. Once in 5th grade, my parents were helping me prepare for the National Spelling Bee when Mia walked in and we gasped. She dyed her hair bright pink and was wearing the most amazing makeup, but my parents went bonkers.
What did you do to your hair? It was the one nice thing you inherited from me, and I never put on makeup till I was a married woman.
Everyone here wears makeup, Mom, and people tell me I'm really good at it. Maybe I could be a makeup artist one day.
Wow, we came all the way from China and struggled to give you an education so you can be some clown artist. Why can't you be more like Gia? You're an embarrassment to me and all our ancestors.
She left angrily. Guys, you need to stop this. She hates me because of you.
Oh baby, who cares what she thinks?
I care. I went after Mia and told her she looked beautiful. I expected her to be mean as always, but she kind of smiled at me.
Thanks, kiddo. You've always been nicer to me than the rest of them.
Was I hearing some kind words from Mia in this rare moment? I asked her if she'd like to come see me at the spelling bee and she said yes. I was nervous at the event because it was being shown on television, but I aced all the rounds and I won. Just then I heard Mia screaming.
She's a cheater, won by cheating. She was shouting that my parents had been helping me by spelling out the words.
My parents were furious, but when the camera footage was pulled out, we saw that they were mouthing the words, but I wasn't looking at them. I spelled the words myself, but the judges disqualified me immediately. The minute we got outside, I'm so mad right now. Why do you hate me? What did I ever do to you?
You were born, and you took everything I deserved.
My parents told Mia she was grounded for eternity.
Totally worth it.
Then, we can't go on like this. We're sisters. Wouldn't you rather have a fresh start instead of hating me forever?
No, I'd rather hate you forever. It's just easier to hate you.
As she stormed off, I decided I was done with her, and we hardly ever spoke after that. In the 8th grade, Dad announced one day that a friend's daughter, Sophia, would be coming from France to stay with us for some months. When she walked into our house, we were all awestruck by her beauty and style. She could also speak 5 languages and was a math wizard.
Wow, you're the perfect friend for Gia. You're like the big sister we wish she had.
Even though Sophia was 3 years older, we had a lot in common and we got close. One day, we heard some voices from Mia's room and we peeked inside. She was in front of her phone recording a makeup tutorial for TikTok. The minute she spotted us, she looked mad.
Why are you, jerk, spying on me? Buzz off and don't breathe a word of this to mom and dad or else.
We immediately checked out Mia's TikTok account, and to our shock, she had 1 million subscribers. She was really talented. Later at dinner, Mia came downstairs with a new hairstyle, and Mom just couldn't control herself.
Is this what you do all day? Playing with your hair? What's gonna become of you?
Oh, I don't think you need to worry, Miss Chang. Mia is practically a TikTok star.
What on earth is a TikTok star?
And then Sophia showed them Mia's account on her phone. I could just see Dad turning purple.
I'm supposed to tell my relatives in China that my daughter is some internet idiot? We've been way too easygoing with you, Mia, and that was a mistake.
He stormed off to her room. He roughly flung all of Mia's belongings out the door.
What are you doing?
Are you crazy? Dad, stop it. Mia burst into angry tears and ran out of the house. When my parents stormed off, I turned to Sophia. Why did you do that?
I didn't know they'd react this way. I was only trying to help poor Fan because they're always putting her down. I thought they'd be proud of her.
Well, Sophia had no idea how crazy our parents really were. She tried apologizing, but Mia wouldn't even open the door for her. Weeks passed, and I was busy studying with Sophia for an important exam. The day before the exam, though, my parents had to go out of town.
We'll be back tomorrow morning, darling. Good luck.
The next morning when I woke up, it was super late. I'd set the alarm for 7, and now it was 10. The exam was over by now. My parents would be devastated. I ran downstairs when suddenly I stopped short. Mia was sitting in the living room with our parents and a very elegant woman.
Your daughter has a supermodel's face and people already love her. We want to collaborate with our makeup brand.
When my parents saw the check she handed, their eyes almost popped out. As Mia signed the deal and the woman left, I saw something extraordinary. My parents started hugging Mia.
Oh, darling, I had no idea you were so talented. I was still super upset about my exam and I burst in.
Mom, Dad, I missed my exam and…
What exam? Oh, for that high school? Who cares? Didn't you just hear Mia's amazing news? Come, darling, let's go for a fancy brunch.
What? The freaking fish just happened and suddenly I was living Mia's life. My parents couldn't stop showing her off and I was invisible. One day they told me Mia would be using the limo and I could take the bus to school.
It's time you learned to be a grown-up. Anyway, one day we weren't here and you just slept through your exam. So irresponsible.
Wow, who were these people? Sophia was my only ally here. Now, Mom and Dad threw a huge party to celebrate Mia's first modeling campaign. In the middle of it, the owner of the makeup brand burst in and she marched up furiously to Mia.
You stupid girl, how dare you post something like this about my brand?
What are you talking about?
This.
It was a post on Mia's Instagram with some makeup and the caption, "These products are tested on rabbits who are kept in terrible conditions. Boycott this cruel brand." Mia protested that she'd never posted this, but the woman wouldn't listen and threatened to sue her as she stormed off. Then suddenly pounced on me.
You did this, didn't you? You couldn't stand that I was getting the limelight for once.
Get off me, you psycho! It wasn't me. My parents tried to calm Mia down while they shouted at me for ruining her career and grounded me. This was crazy. Later that night, I was going down to the kitchen when I heard Sophia's voice from Mia's room.
You just turned 18, and you can leave these terrible people. Gia hates you, and your parents were awful to you before you became famous and rich. Forget them, and come with me to France. You'll be even bigger there.
And then suddenly it all clicked. It was Sophia creating all this chaos. Sophia, it's you! You made me miss my exam, and you posted that on Mia's Instagram. Sophia suddenly looked really evil.
Yeah, I did all that, but can't you see I've only exposed the truth about your greedy parents? They've always treated Mia like dirt till they thought she was worth something, and now they're treating you the same way. Well, you can stay here, Gia, and maybe you'll be their favorite daughter again. But Mia's going with me because I actually love her, and I'll treat her like a queen then.
And I were both stunned.
Sophia, you're crazy. You almost ruined my career to make me go with you. I don't love you, and I'm not going anywhere with you.
Sophia started screaming and dancing like a real maniac. Our parents came running in the noise, and when we told them everything she'd done, they sent her packing to France on the earliest flight. But the whole fiasco was a wake-up call for me. And then Sophia might be crazy, but she was completely right about our parents. Mom, Dad, you can't treat us like we only deserve your love if we're worth something, and you never let us have a normal relationship. This has to stop.
I'm not even waiting for you to change anymore. I'm moving out. Gia, would you like to come with me and maybe we could have a fresh start?
I instantly said yes, and no matter how much our parents begged, We decided it was best for us to move away from them. Family love should be unconditional, not dependent on achievements or talents. Treating children fairly and respecting their individual passions helps them feel accepted and more connected. Hi, I'm Grace from London. Please like and subscribe. When I was little, my mom worked for this rich woman who was the third cousin of the daughter of the king. The rich woman had a fabulous life. She and her daughter Gigi, who was my age, lived in a beautiful mansion. They went to the spa every week and on vacation every weekend. But the only thing was that the paparazzi never left them alone. They camped in front of the house and hid in the trees to get a glimpse of Gigi and her mom. Gigi and I looked alike, so I'd often pose as her decoy. I'd walk out the front door in her fancy clothes and smile for the paparazzi, while Gigi snuck out the back into a tinted SUV and speed off. Life was great until Gigi and her mom moved back to their family and mom lost her job. We moved into a tiny house and mom had to work 2 jobs just to afford the rent. I hated being poor. It caused my mom to get off work really late, so I decided I had to be rich one day. I worked harder than ever in school so I could get a good job and make a ton of money. Then one day I was called into the principal's office and she gave me the best news ever.
Congratulations, Grace. You've been awarded a scholarship to one of the most prestigious private schools in the city.
I was over the moon, but there was one big problem. My new school was filled with rich kids. There was no way I was going to fit in. That night I had nightmares about them laughing at me and chasing me through the halls. The next morning, I woke up and prayed that I could win $1 million. And then the craziest thing happened.
I talked with your Aunt Maddie. She lives near your new school. You'll be staying with her so I can save some money.
I jumped for joy. I just hit the jackpot. Aunt Maddie was a filthy rich lawyer. She was so generous that she'd recently adopted a daughter my age. That evening, Aunt Maddie's chauffeur picked me up in a limousine and drove me to her mansion. My adopted cousin Victoria greeted me at the door. She looked like a supermodel, aside from these huge glasses that were way too big for her face. Victoria took me to my room, and as I was unpacking, she kept staring at my clothes.
Whoa, what happened? I've seen homeless people wear better clothes.
I was so embarrassed I started crying like an idiot. They're all I have. I'm poor.
Oh, don't worry about it, Grace. I've got your back. You can borrow some of my clothes. I've got plenty.
Victoria led me to her room where she opened a walk-in closet twice the size of my mom's house. When we got to school, I strutted like a superstar down the hallway, and all the kids couldn't stop staring at me. In class, the teacher asked us all to introduce ourselves and share something interesting about our families. All the other kids came from wealthy families that owned huge business empires. Some even had parents who were famous celebrities. When the teacher asked me to introduce myself, I walked to the front of the class. I felt really nervous. I couldn't tell them about my poor single mom who worked as a janitor at a beauty salon and waited tables at a 2-star restaurant. Then suddenly, something strange came over me and the most unexpected words just the hell out of my mouth. Hi everyone, I'm Grace and I'm an heiress to the throne. Everyone in class stared at me like I was a unicorn. I took out my phone and flashed one of my photos from a magazine and the kids went wild. Victoria appeared out of nowhere and pulled me to the side.
Have you lost your mind? You're just told everyone a big fat lie.
My mind is right where it's supposed to be, if you must know. Plus, it's not really a lie.
You are Gigi Stand-in. My mom told me all about it. You're stealing her identity.
I'm just borrowing it. She won't even notice. Victoria walked away that a bunch of popular kids ran over to me. My plan was working like a charm.
Are you really in line for the throne?
Yep, it's a very real possibility. Everyone in line before me is old and sick.
I thought you moved back to Europe.
That's fake news.
But aren't you living with Victoria?
Yes, my mother wants me to have a more grounded experience among commoners, but it's just temporary. Tada, sorry. No more questions today. Maybe we can have crumpets and tea later. Then Damien, the most beautiful boy I'd ever seen, patted me on my shoulder and my heart skipped a beat. His sparkly brown eyes and warm smile made my heart flutter.
Your Highness, would you do me the honor of coming to my party tonight?
Yes, please. That night, I raided Victoria's closet and found the perfect dress. I pranced around in the mirror, flashed my prettiest smile, and practiced kissing my hand.
What's up with you?
I told Victoria all about how Damien invited me to his party, and she looked pissed.
Don't you mention that jerk to me?
He's not a jerk. He's really cool, and he looks like an angel.
Listen, you'll have to regret it if you choose to hang out with that idiot.
Are you sure we're talking about the same guy? Damien's at the top of our class. He smells like fresh strawberries. He's super cute and the captain of the football team. He's perfect.
Never mind, I'm out of here.
Victoria stormed off in a huff, but I didn't have time to figure out. We'll put a B and herb on it. I had to get to Damien's party, of course. Damien's party was awesome. We danced together for hours, and at the end of the night, he gave me the most romantic kiss.
You're amazing, Grace.
I know people tell me that all the time.
I've never met a girl like you before.
After that, Damien and I started dating and we became the hottest couple in school. My popularity was through the roof. Even Victoria stopped shaking her head at me every time we passed each other in the hallway. Life was great until things took a horrible turn. One day, one of the rich kids invited me to an exclusive restaurant. I was busy enjoying my caviar when I looked out the window and saw Victoria and Damien having a heated argument across the street. I was about to go out to snoop on them, but our waiter, Brian, this geeky kid from my math class, stepped into my path.
Excuse me, you forgot to pay for your food?
He gave me a bill of over $200. I was invited to this party.
And we've been told everyone is paying their bills separately.
So without thinking, I handed Brian my bank card.
I'm sorry, but your card has been declined.
That's impossible. I'm heir to $1 million fortune.
We also accept cash.
This is no way to treat royalty. I want to speak with your manager now. I dragged Brian to the side. I was so afraid he was going to call the cops on me that I decided to tell him the truth. Listen, there's no way I can pay all that money. Maybe we can work something out.
You rich kids always try to take advantage of people. Please pay so I can do my job. Aren't you from some royal family anyway?
I'm seriously not a rich kid. That was all a big lie. I just wanted to fit in. Suddenly, tears started streaming down my face.
Oh geez, please don't cry. Listen, I know what it's like to want to fit in with the rich kids. I'll put it on my tab, but you have to pay me back this month.
I was so relieved I felt like a huge weight had been lifted. I did. It was good to tell the truth, but then it hit me. If Brian exposed me, my fabulous life would be destroyed. Could you please keep my secret?
Sure, but only if you agree to tutor me. I'm kind of struggling with calculus, and I saw you got 100 on the test.
I happily agreed. By the time I was done with this drama, Victoria and Damien were gone, and neither of them answered their phones. I called my driver to take me home. I waited in my room for hours but didn't hear a word from either of them. I was really curious about what they had been arguing about. About a few minutes after midnight, I woke up to hear a car pulling into the driveway. I looked out the window. It was Damien and Victoria was in the passenger seat. I saw red. I raced down the stairs and ran straight into Victoria. Why are you sneaking around with Damien?
We aren't sneaking around.
I saw you two arguing at the party.
It's complicated, and I'm really tired. Can we talk about it later?
It's not complicated at all. You're a jealous witch and a boyfriend stealer, and don't try to deny it. You hate that I'm more popular than you and that Damien's in love with me. Victoria marched to her room and slammed her door in my face. Something fishy was going on between those two, and I was going to find out what. The next day, I asked Damien about Victoria.
Don't worry about it, babe. She's my partner for a school project. We were only talking about that. You know, I only have eyes for you.
After that, Damien got really busy with football practice, so I focused on school and tutoring Brian. To my surprise, I enjoyed hanging out with Brian. She was smart and funny, and we were both huge fans of classical music. One night, he played one of Mozart's concertos on the piano for me. That was beautiful. I didn't know you were so talented.
I'm kind of a music prodigy. That's how I got a scholarship to our school.
A couple of weeks later, Brian aced his calculus test.
I'll be playing that piece you like and a new song I wrote for you.
You wrote a song for me? Brian blushed. And so did I.
It's a thank you for all you've done for me.
I wouldn't miss your concert for the world. That night, just as I was getting ready to go to the concert with Brian, Damien showed up in a tuxedo. What are you doing here?
You're funny. I told you I was picking you up.
Oh God, I totally forgotten that Damien had invited me to be a state for his family's annual charity ball.
Come on, we don't want to be late.
Damien took my hand and rushed me to his car. When we arrived at the ball, Damien's parents were excited to meet me. They spent the whole night introducing me to all their fancy friends and bragged about how their son had landed the heiress to a throne. I needed a breath of fresh air, so I went out into the back alley for a bit to find Damien and the school's head cheerleader kissing. When they saw me, they turned as white as bed sheets.
It's not what it looks like.
Actually, it is. Damien and I are in love.
I was going to tell you after the party. I just wanted to impress my parents by saying you were my girlfriend. You're their favorite royal, and they've been dying to meet you.
I slapped Damien hard in the face and stormed out of there. The next day, Brian marched up to me at school with a huge scowl.
I waited for you for over an hour and you didn't even call.
I'm sorry, I had another engagement.
Like what? Your fake royal duties? If you didn't want to go, you should have just told me you didn't have to play with my feelings. I may not be one of the popular kids, but I don't deserve to be treated like trash.
Brian stormed off. I was gutted, and just when I thought the day couldn't get any worse, I got an alert on my phone. A gossip website had done a news report on me and outed me as a fraud. All the kids crowded around me like an angry mob. I ran outside and straight into a bunch of crazy paparazzi. They chased me through the parking lot. I darted down the street and jumped into a cab. Get me out of here, please. The driver hightailed it out of there. When I got home, I raced up the stairs and locked myself in my room. Then suddenly, someone unlocked my bedroom door. I was panicking. The police would arrest me, and my mom would be so ashamed. Everything would fall apart. But in the end, thank goodness, it was just Victoria.
I told you all this would blow up in your face. The lying, and most of all, Damien.
Was he dating you too?
No, gross. Damien and I lived in the same foster home years ago. Damien hates that he was poor, and he won't tell anyone he's adopted, or that he and I know each other from a foster home. You're not that different. He just wants so bad to fit in.
That information nation hit me like a ton of bricks. At that moment, I decided to make a change. I apologized to Victoria and sent Brian a dozen I'm sorry memes. And I came clean to everyone at school. After that, everyone turned their backs on me. But I had Victoria, and I eventually made friends with some nice kids. Ryan and I started talking again after I offered to tutor him for free for a year. In the end, I realized that being a popular fake royal didn't hold a candle to being surrounded by friends that loved me for me. Hi, I'm Luna, I'm 16, and while most people see me as just another shy girl, my life is anything but ordinary. I keep to myself, lost in books and daydreams, trying to navigate a world that doesn't quite seem to fit me. But my life is a delicate balance of hiding and longing, and a secret I guard with everything I have. Before continuing the story, please like and subscribe. My family and I recently moved to a small town called Whispering Pines, nestled in a deep forest. My mom, Celine, said it was for a fresh start, but I knew better. She was always anxious, her eyes starting around as if expecting something to jump out at her. She constantly reminded me to
stay hidden and keep your secret.
Okay, back to my secret. Each night as the moon rose, I slipped into the woods and transformed into a unicorn. It's a magnificent form with a shimmering white coat and a horn that glowed like moonlight in the forest. Under the cover of night, I was free, a creature of magic, running wild and unbound. But by day, I was Luna, the girl who avoided mirrors and hid under a hood. I was isolated, not quite fitting in with any group at school. I didn't seek out friends or companionship because getting close to anyone could have put me in danger. So I remained on the fringes, living a double life that was both exhilarating and exhausting. Then there was Jasper. He's an artist with a sketchbook perpetually in hand, always drawing and observing. There was something different about him. His eyes seemed to see beyond the surface, and he had been curiously watching me ever since I arrived. His presence was a mix of intrigues. Unease for me one day after school cornered me by my locker.
Hey Luna, I've noticed you always wear that hood. Is there a reason?
I shrugged, attempting to sound nonchalant, just like it keeps me warm. He raised an eyebrow, unconvinced.
There's something more, isn't there? You're always hiding.
I laughed nervously, trying to deflect. What about you always drawing? Jasper flipped open his sketchbook to reveal a detailed drawing of a unicorn. My heart skipped a beat.
The other night while I was walking through the woods, I found these strange tracks in the grass. So I did a little research, and maybe, just maybe, there are unicorns out there.
I tried to maintain a casual demeanor, though anxiety bubbled beneath the surface. Unicorns aren't real, Jasper. He looked at me, his eyes sparkled with curiosity.
What if they are? What if there's something magical out there we don't know about?
I forced a smile, feeling a sense of dread. Maybe, but I wouldn't worry about it. Despite my attempts to dissuade him, Jasper's curiosity didn't wane. He continued to question me, probing with a mix of genuine interest and persistence. His questions, though innocent, hit too close to the truth and made me uncomfortable. The next day, while I was walking to the local bookshop to get a new journal, I saw 3 men and 2 women exiting a large black SUV, all wearing the same black suit and tie. As I stayed hidden in the shadows, I got close enough to hear them speaking to Whispering Pines local sheriff Marty Luca. They told him they belonged to a government agency of environmental researchers, but their high-tech gadgets and probing questions suggested otherwise. It was clear that they were searching for something, and I couldn't shake a feeling that it might be me. Later that night, I told my mom about the mysterious group of strangers that had arrived. Immediately, my mom's anxiety reached new heights. I watched as she ran to the closet and pulled down an old photo album from behind a row of hats boxes. She fluttered the pages until she stopped at an old newspaper clipping with a photo of the same people I saw earlier that day.
Luna, we have to be extra careful now. The OSS is here, and they're not what they seem.
I looked at her, confused. What do you mean? Who is the OSS?
Office of Supernatural Sightings. They're looking for magical creatures. If they find out what you are, they'll capture you and use you for their own purposes. You must stay hidden.
But I need to go out at night. It's the only time I truly feel alive. My mom's eye is filled with tears.
I know, sweetheart, but it's too dangerous. Please promise me you'll be careful.
I nodded, but in my heart, I knew it was a promise I may not be able to keep. The allure of the forest and the freedom it represented was too strong. That night, I snuck out as usual. But the OSS's presence was palpable. Their advanced sensors and patrols made it clear they were on the lookout for something. My heart raced as I navigated the forest. I was careful to stay out of sight, but in my panic, I accidentally left behind a few strands of my magical mane caught on a branch. The next day, Jasper found the strands while sketching in the woods. He was intrigued, examining them closely. Later, he approached me in the school hallway, holding the strands out with a mixture of curiosity and excitement.
Luna, look what I found. They're different, almost magical.
I tried to dismiss his concerns with a laugh, but Jasper's gaze was unwavering. Magic, are you sure? He nodded, his eyes serious. Then he looked deeply into my eyes, like he could see right through me.
There's something about you, Luna, and you've been acting so strange lately.
I felt a rush of anxiety. I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, Luna. I'm not trying to pry, I just want to understand. Is there something you're hiding?
I hesitated, torn between fear and the desire to confide in someone who seemed to care, but the moment was interrupted as my mom approached and pulled me away from Jasper. What's wrong?
The OSS is intensifying their search. They set up traps in the forest, they're using tracking technology, and they're questioning the townspeople.
My mom's fear became even more apparent, urging us to leave town immediately.
Luna, it's getting too dangerous. We need to leave before it's too late.
I crossed my arms in defiance. I'm not leaving. I've been running all my life. I want to stay.
You can't risk everything over a boy. You don't understand how serious this is, Luna.
I do understand, and Jasper is my friend. I trust him. My mom scoffed and walked away, clearly frustrated. I approached Jasper and took a deep breath, my heart pounding in my chest as I looked into his eyes. Jasper, there's something I've been hiding from you, something I thought you could never understand. I took Jasper into an empty classroom so we could talk in private. I'm not like everyone else. I'm a unicorn. I watched his face, waiting for his reaction. Fearing he would turn away, Jasper's face softened, and a smile slowly spread across his lips.
I always knew there was something magical about you. Thank you for trusting me enough to share this. You're beautiful, Luna, all of you.
In the following days, Jasper and I spent countless hours together working on a plan to outsmart the OSS. Jasper drew a detailed map to throw them off, and during that time, we grew closer. One afternoon, Jasper voiced a troubling thought.
What if they catch you despite our effort? What if they find out everything?
They want to control me, to use me for their own gain. But having you help me is everything. I've never had someone stand by me like this before.
I won't let them catch you. I'll do everything I can to keep you safe.
His words brought me a sense of relief and hope, but also a growing fear. The OSS's search was becoming more relentless, and time was running out. The night of the final confrontation arrived. The OSS's search had become more intense with advanced tracking technology and sophisticated traps. My mom was even more frantic, and her anxiety made it difficult for her to focus. Jasper arrived with a determined expression.
We have one last chance. If we can make them believe the unicorn has left town, they'll stop searching.
He worked tirelessly through the night, setting up a series of diversions and false evidence. Jasper used his artistic skills to create elaborate fake tracks, leading the OSS in circles. I used my unicorn magic to add an extra layer of deception, making it appear as though I had been everywhere at once. The process was exhausting. We were both drained, but driven by hope and the desire to protect my secret. As dawn approached, the OSS's frustration was evident. They started to back up, convinced they were following a false trail. Jasper turned to me, his eyes filled with concern.
Are you okay?
I nodded as tears welled up in my eyes. I'm just grateful. Thank you, Jasper, for everything. He smiled, though there was a hint of sadness in his eyes.
I'd do it again in a heartbeat. You deserve to be free.
With the OSS gone, my mom's fear slowly subsided, though the threat of their return lingered in the air. As the weeks passed, the town returned to a semblance of normalcy. I continued my life as Luna during the day, but the nights were still mine. Jasper and I maintained our secret meetings, and their friendship grew deeper with each passing day. Then one evening, as we walked through the forest together, Jasper turned to me.
Luna, what do you want for the future?
I thought for a moment, the weight of my dual existence heavy on my shoulders. I want to find a place where I can be both Luna and the unicorn. A place where I don't have to hide. Jasper smiled, his eyes shining with determination.
We'll find it together.
Jasper's presence was a reminder that I wasn't alone, that there was someone who cared about me and believed in my future. In the days that followed, Jasper and I struggled to keep my secret. His sketches captured our magical and challenging journey. One night, as we sat together by a small stream in the forest, Jasper asked,
Luna, what's the most important thing you've learned through all of this?
I reflected on the journey, the challenges, and the moments of connection. I've learned that even in the darkest times, there's always a light. It might come from unexpected places, like a friend who believes in you. And sometimes the magic we seek is within ourselves. Jasper nodded, his gaze thoughtful.
I think you're right, and I believe that with your strength and our friendship, we can face whatever comes our way.
We sat together in the moonlight, the stream's gentle murmur a soothing backdrop to our conversation. Be brave and true to yourself, and confide in those you trust. You'll find comfort, motivation, and solutions. When we connect through trust and creativity, no challenge is too great to overcome.
Hi, I'm Eden from California. Please like and subscribe. Ever since I was little, I hated my parents. They ignored me 247 because they were famous actors. They were always shooing me away while they signed autographs for their fans and talked on the phones with their agents.
Can't you read me a bedtime story? Just this once.
Eden, just take something from the shelf and look at the pictures.
Luckily, I had someone at home to be with, so I didn't lose my sanity. My Aunt Zoe was kind of a teenager. She wore heavy makeup and tight clothes and was obsessed with social media.
Time for our morning selfie, baby girl.
My aunt was my live in BFF. But one day, when I was in 10th grade, my parents decided to ruin my life. I woke up and smelled smoke. So I ran downstairs to see what was burning, but I didn't see anything. Instead, my parents were just sitting on the couch and told me the worst news ever. They made Aunt Zoe move out.
Don't worry, you two can still keep in touch, but your mother and I have decided it's best if just the three of us are in this house.
Why? Because she's too helpful around the house? Because she actually cares about me, unlike you two.
Do you smell that smoke, Eden? My sister was cooking breakfast this morning and started a fire. She's a child trapped in an adult body. We love her, but we can't live with her.
I was boiling with anger. I refused to speak to Mom and Dad for days. But one night, I agreed to go with them to a celebrity after party, but only so I could get dressed up and get free refreshments. At one point, I was standing by myself when this famous teen actor came up to me.
Hey, they're gorgeous. Just say your name and I'll make an autograph out for you.
I really don't want it. Maybe go make another girl's dream come true.
I started to walk away, but the guy pulled me close to him.
Stop fighting your desires, princess. You deserve this.
With that, he leaned in as if he were about to kiss me. I shoved him off so hard. Uh-oh, I hadn't meant to hurt the guy. But everyone started freaking out and rushing to him. As they called the ambulance, all the party guests went ballistic at me. My parents and I got kicked out of the party, and me assaulting the celebrity was all over the news. My parents were furious.
You've completely ruined our reputation. Now everyone thinks we have a maniac for a daughter and no one's hiring us.
Apparently, Eden has violence issues we didn't know about.
Violence issues? That's gotta be a joke.
My parents were serious. They registered me for an anger management group every week for 4 months. It was the dumbest thing ever, and everywhere I went, people would stare at me. One morning, I decided to lock myself in my room for the day to have a break from everyone. Then suddenly, I saw my door lock moving, and Aunt Zoe burst in with a police officer.
Eden, your parents are missing.
What do you mean missing?
They were last seen shooting a movie in the Joshua Tree Desert. Now there's no trace of them.
I felt my heart pound as I thought of Mom and Dad lost somewhere in the desert. I had barely talked to them in the last week because we were fighting, but now I felt horrible.
Listen, baby, I don't want you to worry about anything. The police are going to search for them. I'll move in and take care of you in the meantime.
I was so grateful she was by my side. She spoiled me extra that week with breakfast buffets in bed and trips to the spa. The house was 10 times messier than usual, and Aunt Zoe threw multiple midnight parties during the week. But I had missed her so much. Then one day, I was at school and went to the library to study for exams. But as I was wandering through the aisles, I felt someone watching me. I turned around to see the crazy actor who tried to kiss me staring at me through the open bookshelf.
Hey there, princess. You happy to see me?
Oh my god, what are you doing here? Did you track me down?
I did in fact track you down, because even though you tried to kill me, my heart is still screaming for you. I've never met a girl who's played so hard to get before, and I like it.
He walked around over to me and stood inches away from my face, and I just lost it. I slapped him hard across the face and he cried in pain.
Listen, you psycho creep. If you don't get lost this second, I'll call the cops and I'll hurt you for real this time. If I were you, I wouldn't take any chances.
I stormed off and decided to get coffee with Aunt Zoe to cheer myself up. Before we went out though, Aunt Zoe insisted on wearing Mom's clothes.
She has so many designer dresses I'm in love with. I don't think she'd mind, would she?
No. I don't see why she'd mind. Actually, I have to tell you something important.
Once we were settled at the cafe, I told my aunt everything that had happened. But to my surprise, she shrugged like it was no big deal.
You know, sweetie, maybe you should date him. He's super cute, and he's like a huge star. You could be famous just like your parents.
I'm sorry. Are you suggesting I date someone who tried to kiss me, turned everyone against me, and stalked me?
You're overthinking this, Eden. Dating a star like that could change your life for the better, but maybe you're too young to understand.
I was shocked. How could she be so blind and insensitive? I knew I wasn't overreacting, but if nobody wanted to support me, then so be it. I would take matters into my own hands. I called the cops that day and told them the situation, and thankfully, I was able to get a restraining order against the guy. I wanted to cry of relief, but when I got home, I heard laughter coming from upstairs. I walked up to see what was going on and saw my parents. Bedroom door was wide open and inside was Aunt Zoe. She was wearing Mom's clothes again and talking to the mirror. The weirdest thing was, she was talking in Mom's voice.
No thank you. I can't believe this is my 3rd Golden Globe. Oh, you're a fan too. Oh, you guys are so sweet. I can't take it.
Aunt, what are you doing?
Just having a little fun, playing a little dress up. Was there something you needed?
I felt really confused and weirded out. What did Aunt Zoe mean she was playing dress up? I decided not to dwell on it and got right to telling my aunt about the restraining order. I'd hoped she'd be happy for me, but instead she looked super pissed.
I can't believe you do something so stupid, Eden. Do you know what I would do to be wooed by a celebrity like that? To be seen with him in magazines and to be famous? Poor me. A star actor tried to kiss me and tracked me down to profess his love. Ugh, cry me a river.
Yeah, he tried to ruin my life.
Aunt Zoe ignored me and walked out of the room. Did she really think fame was more important than my own safety? She was insane. And the dressing up as Mom in the mirror was strange too. Maybe Aunt Zoe just really missed my parents and was acting out. Things were awkward between us that week, and Aunt Zoe started acting weirder. Not only was she dressing every day in Mom's clothes and talking in Mom's voice, she started going by Mom's name.
Eden, you're not allowed to call me Aunt Zoe anymore. You have to call me Aunt Savannah. And Aunt Savannah is off to an acting audition.
How? You're not an actress!
What are you talking about? Aunt Savannah is a star actress.
Aunt Zoe pulled out her phone, which was open to Mom's email account. She had been talking with a bunch of directors pretending to be Mom.
If they notice I look different, I'll just tell them I had a little plastic surgery.
Aunt Zoe started laughing as she walked out the door. She was totally out of her mind. What was happening to my aunt? That night, I was asleep in bed when a loud machine woke me up. I ran downstairs to find Aunt Zoe shredding hundreds of pictures of my parents.
Are you shredding pictures of Mom and Dad?
It's something that has to be done. They're obviously not coming back, which means we have to perform a ceremony to say goodbye to them.
All of a sudden, Aunt Zoe scooped up a pile of shreds and put it into a pot of boiling water.
I'm putting their old pictures into a soup that we're going to eat. Then they'll really be gone for good, and I'll be the one who'll live here now.
That is the most twisted thing I've ever heard. And you know what? I know I'm going to find my parents. The police were able to help me with that stalker actor, and I know they'll help me with this. And if you're gonna act this crazy, maybe you shouldn't live here anymore.
I fled from the kitchen and out the front door to the police station. I just didn't feel safer on my aunt. At that moment, I spoke to the cops and asked for an update on my parents. I also told them about Aunt Zoe's weird behavior.
Eden, don't worry. We're gonna continue searching for your parents. Also, I think it's best I find you somewhere else to sleep tonight. Your aunt sounds mentally ill, and you should stay away from her right now.
I knew the policewoman was right, so I slept in a shelter nearby and went back to the station the next day. And when I got there, Aunt Zoe was waiting for me, looking furious.
You little brat. You had me worried sick about you.
Well, I'm sorry, but you were acting like a crazy person, and I just couldn't be around you.
Suddenly, Aunt Zoe ran up to one of the cops and hid behind them.
Do you hear how mean my niece is being to me? She wasn't always like this, but ever since her parents went missing, she's turned all her anger on me. As her legal guardian, I want her to go to a psych ward so she can get proper help. I love her, but I can't live with her right now.
I couldn't believe the words I was hearing. Luckily, the cop didn't believe Aunt Zoe and sent her to another room so they could do an investigation. I stayed with the police while they continued the search for my parents. I felt sick to my stomach. I wanted my parents back, and I wanted my aunt back. I stayed at the police station until midnight feeling totally numb. Then suddenly, the door opened, and the cops came in with my parents. I burst into tears and hugged them for the longest time. I don't understand. What happened to you guys?
Your dad and I decided to drive to the movie shoot, and we got lost in the desert. Luckily, we found some campers who were able to feed us. But still, we're so sorry we scared you.
Before I could answer, the cops came over with a serious expression on their face.
We just wanted to update you. We caught Zoe and put her back in the asylum.
What do you mean back in the asylum?
My parents were dead silent and looked at each other.
Eden, we know you love Aunt Zoe, but she's never been a mentally well person. The reason she moved out was because we sent her to the psych ward. She's always been jealous of your mother's success. And one night she tried to set our bedroom on fire and hurt us. That's why you smelled smoke that morning.
I was horrified and completely heartbroken. My aunt had been my favorite person in the whole world, but apparently, I never really knew her.
God, I feel so stupid. I'm sorry I got mad at you guys when you kicked her out. You were only trying to keep me safe.
Oh, darling, we don't blame you. We've neglected you for so many years. And as crazy as my sister was, she did take good care of you. But we're taking time off from work now. We're ready to give you the love and attention you deserve.
We are so sorry about everything. We love you, Eden.
I love you guys too.
Hi, my name is Janie and I'm the only child. My parents couldn't have any other children after me. They loved me too much and were always worried about me. One day when I was in the 2nd grade, a masked robber broke into our house and started yelling at us. Mom immediately hugged me.
Please don't hurt our daughter.
Where is the money? Where is it?
Oh no, please don't hurt us. Okay, we will give you everything. Just don't hurt my daughter.
And then Mom stood beside me. Dad started helping the thief pack our stuff.
Honey, don't forget about the gold watch that your dad gave you before he passed away.
Oh, yes, I almost forgot. Oh, and also your diamond necklace. Where did you keep it?
Dad, we can't give him everything. Just call the police.
No, be quiet, honey. He's a thief. He knows what he's doing. We can't interfere. We need to keep you safe.
Yeah, shut up, kid, and go to your room and get me something precious.
Yes, honey. You heard Uncle Thief. Go now.
Yeah, of course. Wait for me, please. I went to my room and took up my phone and called 911. Minutes later, the police came and took the thief who was having dinner with Dad by then. Yes, well, meet my parents. They were stupidly in love with me and worship me. Life went on like that until my 15th birthday. That's when they gave me the deadliest gift on the planet. It was something that changed my life forever. But before I continue, like and subscribe to this video. As I got home from school that day, I was surprised to see a strange pair of shoes outside the door. The old sneakers were ratty and had holes on the side. I burst in. Mom, whose shoes are those? Who was that? Standing next to my parents was a cute girl with curly hair.
Janie, this is Susie. She's your new sister. We adopted her because we knew you were feeling lonely and we wanted to make you happier.
She's my what?
Sister? Happy birthday!
Who are you? What's going on?
Darling, as your mom said, she's your sister. I'm excited to see you guys doing all the crazy things sisters do. Come on, don't be shy. Hug her. I can see you're happy.
Happy? How is this supposed to make me happy?
Kids these days. When my dad got me all over, I was thrilled. So was he.
Dad, Oliver was your lizard. He looked at me with confusion.
So we were very close. We used to share the same toothbrush.
I'm human. This is not the same.
Oh, poo. Just talk to your mother. I don't understand you girls. This is getting complicated.
But Mom didn't seem like she would be of any help. She was busy braiding the girl's hair and telling her they'd have pajama parties and sleepovers. I couldn't believe that my parents had adopted a kid without even asking me. They had me. Why would they want another kid? Then Mom told me to take my new sister upstairs. I rolled my eyes and let the girl out. She looked kind of sad, which made me feel a bit guilty. Hey, look about what I said in there. It's not like I hate you. I just don't want a sister. I hope you understand. She turned her big sad eyes towards me, and for a moment I thought she'd cry, but instead she burst into a manic laughter.
That's lucky. I don't want a sister either.
That's good. So just tell Mom and Dad to take you back, right?
Take me back? Why aren't I a human like you and deserve a family?
I felt guilty immediately and was about to hug her when she said,
Yeah, I deserve more than a family. I deserve your life, and I'm going to take it.
With that, she plopped onto my bed and went to sleep. What just happened? At dinner, my parents barely said a word to me. They only talked to Susie, asking her questions about her old school, her teachers, and a bunch of other boring stuff. She seemed so happy with all the attention she was getting. So annoying. Suddenly, she said,
From now on, I'll celebrate my birthday today because that's when I started living with you. All right, sis.
I was so shocked I dropped the bowl of spaghetti I was holding. But Mom and Dad just started clapping and crying and singing happy birthday. This was turning out to be the worst birthday ever. After that, things just went downhill. At breakfast the next morning, Susie came down in my lovely LV top. Hey, Take that off. My boyfriend gave that to me last year. Don't you think you should ask? Besides, you can't wear that top with those horrible stinky sneakers.
Oh, you have one boyfriend? You look like the kind of girl who can have 3 boyfriends.
What is that supposed to mean? Just take it off. Immediately, Mom jumped to her defense.
Jamie, behave. She looks great. She has our eyes, doesn't she?
Mom, we have purple eyes. Hers are blue.
Just go to school, you two.
Susie passed me the evilest grin before turning to Mom with the biggest puppy dog eyes on the planet.
It's okay, Mom. I'll just change. After all, I am just a foster kid, not her real sister.
With that, she turned and walked out. What just happened? But clearly her magic was working because Mom started to cry.
Oh, Janny, how could you to your own sister?
She came back wearing her old hoodie. Then she handed Mom a paper.
Look, Mom. Look at what I've been drawing since I got home.
It was a painting of Mom and Dad and me with Susie. And on top in big letters, she'd written my happy family. But Mom totally started to cry and said,
"That's beautiful, sweetie. Oh, Jamie, why can't you be nicer to your sister?"
I couldn't believe this madhouse and walked out. I thought maybe at least she would leave me alone at school, but boy was I wrong. At lunch, I got to the cafeteria and found her having lunch with all my friends. I walked over and sat down at the table. "I've been looking all over for you guys." But before she could say anything, Susie jumped up holding her nose.
What's that awful smell? It smells like dirty socks.
Then she looked right at me and said,
"It was fine until?"
All the girls immediately said they weren't wearing any socks. No one was except me. They grabbed their trays and one by one moved away. I couldn't believe she'd done that. After everyone left, Susie got to her feet and said,
"Say goodbye to your social life, sis."
"Don't ever call me sis. I hate you." I left my tray and stormed to my next class. As soon as the teacher started the class, the door opened and someone walked in. Oh no, not again. It was Susie. She so badly wanted to take over my life that she even signed up for all my classes. She grinned at me as she sat behind me. I gulped, afraid of what problems she might cause here. The English teacher hated kids were late, so naturally, as soon as Susie came in, the teacher ended up calling on her to read. Susie looked horrified.
"Me? But I'm new."
"Yeah, but not blind."
Susie turned red in the face and everyone snickered. I almost felt bad for her. This teacher could be a real meanie.
"Now hurry up. I don't have all day, princess."
Beep, beep, beep.
One of the girls from the back whispered loudly.
"She's not blind, just dumb."
Was Susie really struggling to read the word black? Or was she just messing with the teacher? But to my surprise, Susie's eyes were full of tears. She really couldn't read. She caught my eye and immediately her expression turned to anger.
"I don't have to do anything. A big ugly toad like you says I'm out of here."
With that, she ran out of the room. That evening at dinner, Mom and Dad asked Susie how her day was. She immediately looked at me. Maybe she was afraid I would tell them she was dyslexic.
"It was fine. Can we talk about something else?"
Dad didn't seem to have hurt her.
How were your classes? Did you make any new friends?
Suddenly, Susie jumped out of her seat and ran to her room. Mom called after her, but she wouldn't listen. I knew I should have been glad to have found her weakness, but I couldn't forget the image of Susie with big tears in her eyes as she tried to read. I felt sorry for her, so I came up with a plan. "Come on, Susie. I'll teach you how to read." Susie glared at me. Her jaw clenched as she said,
"Who asked you for your help? Do you think I want to learn how to read? I'm so beautiful. I can make money by being an influencer. It's ugly people like you who need to read."
With that, she lay down and went back to sleep. All night I tried to think about what I could do to make her feel better. I knew she wasn't good to me, but maybe if I started treating her nicely, things would get better. The next day, I had a brilliant idea. I threw her old dirty sneakers into the trash and put out a fresh new pair for my Louis Vuitton collection. I waited for her to wake up and see them. Sure, she would be really happy. But I was so wrong. She threw a huge fit.
I can't blame them. Where are they? My sneakers.
I threw them. "Look, I got you a new pair." But Susie was anything but excited. She burst into tears and said,
"Why? Why did you do that to me?"
With that, she grabbed her bag and ran out of the house while Mom and Dad called after her. Then Mom turned to me and for the first time in my life, she yelled at me.
"How could you be so mean, Jamie, to hurt the poor child like that? I thought I raised you better."
"Me? She's the drama queen. I did something nice for her and she's acting like that."
"You go after her right now and bring her back."
"And why would I do that? She's just been awful to me since she arrived. I lived here." Mom looked at me with sad eyes and said,
"You threw away the shoes her real mom gave her."
"Oh no, I couldn't believe what I'd done. I went running off like a cheetah to the garbage and started looking through it frantically. Thank God the shoes were still there. I quickly cleaned them and used bit of my shoes to repair the damage. Then I set out to find Susie. I found her at the train station hugging a picture and crying. As soon as she saw me, she got up to leave, but I rushed to her and said, "I'm sorry, Susie, I didn't know your mom brought them." Then I showed her the shoes I fixed. She looked shocked for a moment. "I fixed them for you. I know they're not the best, but you'll find them more comfortable and they'll last longer. I know you hate me, but I never meant to hurt you. I was just scared you were taking my mom and dad away from me. I'm sorry. Please come home." She still didn't reply, so I got up and started to walk away. I was almost at the exit when suddenly I heard her yell,
"Aren't you going to help me with my bag, sis?"
I turned around to see her running towards me on her feet or the sneakers I just fixed. That's when I knew everything would be all right after all. Before I finish, I want to remind you, you shouldn't throw away someone else's belongings without their permission. Hey guys, I'm Armani from Australia. Please like and subscribe. Growing up, my twin brother Mikhail and I were raised by our single dad, and boy, were we living the high life. We lived in a mansion straight out of a fairy tale with every luxury imaginable. We always had the coolest toys, the best clothes, super fancy meals, and the most awesome birthday parties ever. And you know what made it all possible? My dad's super cool job at Lewis Industries. He had a high position there and worked his butt off to give us the best life ever. Everything was perfect until one day in high school, Dad hit us with some shocking news. We were completely broke. Turns out Dad's boss, Mr. Lewis, fired him unjustly and even seized whatever Dad owned. Dad, we'll get through this right.
I don't know, honey. I don't know. That man destroyed me. He took every last cent I had. Mr. Lewis is a fraud and he blamed me and fired me. This is so unfair and I'm so sorry. I can't give you the life you deserve anymore.
Seeing Dad's tears made my heart shatter. And then suddenly I felt rage surge through my veins. I wanted revenge. I vowed to make Mr. Lewis pay for causing us so much pain and also take back what he stole from us. That night we moved into a small apartment, and things were never the same again. The next day, news of Dad's misfortune spread far and wide, and everyone now looked at us with pity.
Aren't you that millionaire's daughter? Oh, poor you, going through so much here. The bread and eggs are on us. You don't need to pay, sweetheart.
I totally hated how everyone was pitying us, and Mikhail felt the same way. He was determined to start some business to help Dad with the bills. Then something mind-blowing happened. He got offered a scholarship to the swankiest school ever, where he'd applied before Dad got fired, but now Mikhail was unsure about it. You're not sure Mikhail studying at this school could open up doors for you in the future? For all of us?
Yeah, but Dad needs me right now. We have our business planned out, and I'm just taking a year off from studying. Besides, I found out that Mr. Lewis's son Peter is also in that school. I don't want to be there.
Seriously, the son of that cheater who drained us dry. This could actually be the perfect opportunity to get revenge.
Come on, Armani. Revenge is never the solution. Karma will handle Mr. Lewis. We need to focus on getting our life back on track.
Was he serious? There was no way I was going to pass up this chance to make Mr. Lewis pay. I came up with an idea. Join the school in Mikhail's place. At first, he was totally against it, but I lied about how much I wanted to study in a great school, and this was the only opportunity I'd have since Dad had no money.
Aren't you forgetting one tiny detail? It's an all-boys school.
No sweat, Mikhail. I'll just pretend to be a dude. Teach me the way of the bros, please. And then mission dudification began. First up, Mikhail taught me bro vocabulary.
Every sentence should have dude or bro or man.
Then he taught me the bro walk, which was kind of funny to be honest. Then came the fist bumps, and at last, the dude dress code. After a week of training and a wig, I transformed into Mikhail from Armani, and I was so ready for this school and meeting this eater. On my first day of school, I thought it would be a piece of cake. I mean, all I would have to do was walk and toss like a boy. But soon, my throat was hurting from making my voice deep. My waist was hurting from sucking in my breath and doing that stupid dude walk. And then I had to pee. I rushed to the restroom, but to my horror, it was a dirty urinal toilet staring back at me. Yuck! Boys are gross. I was searching the school for a better bathroom when suddenly I heard some yelling. I followed the voices to see what was happening, and I spotted a guy on the bleachers getting picked on by some meanies.
Hey man, I don't want any trouble. Look, I've got a Snickers bar. How about we all share it and share our feelings? We could start with you, Josh. You can talk about your anger issues. This is a safe space.
Are you for real, you dumb loser?
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
You want to test that theory? You're a good-for-nothing idiot with a bad haircut, and the only girl who will ever love you is your granny.
Oh god. Ouch. That hurts so bad you might as well just have punched me in the stomach.
I can do that.
Stop that, dude. Leave him alone, man.
Or else what, newbie?
I'm gonna show the principal this video of you bullying a student. Yup, I got it all here, bro. Josh glared at me and gestured to the other guys, and they all left.
Thank you for standing up to Josh, but I had it under control.
Yeah, I could see that, man.
I'm Peter. Peter Lewis. What's your name?
Wait, as in Mr. Lewis's son, Peter Lewis? Or Mikhail, bro?
R. Mikhail, bro. What an interesting name.
No, just Mikhail. I gotta go pee. I have to find a clean bathroom.
Say no more and follow me.
Peter led me to the teacher's bathroom, which was as clean as a whistle. Throughout the day, Peter and I ended up hanging out together. And as we got talking during recess, yes, I realized Peter was a sweet and simple guy. The day seemed to be going well until we had swimming class.
All right, boys. Time to change it to your swim trunk so we can dive right in.
What the fudge? I had to come up with a good excuse to skip the lesson.
Hey, you? Yes, you. Come on, get changed.
I'm allergic to water. I was diagnosed with aquagenic urticaria. Yeah, it's been pretty hard for me. Fortunately, everyone bought the lie. Well, everyone except Josh, who sneaked up behind me after swim class.
Aquagenic urticaria. Really? I'll do my research and we'll know if you're really allergic to water or you're just a weirdo who likes to be the center of attention everywhere.
You've got the rest of your life to be as dull as you wish. Why not take today off and do something better with your life? Everyone roared with laughter as Josh fumed and stormed off angrily.
Hey, would you like to hang out over the weekend at my place? My dad's away on a business trip and I have no close friends.
Well, now you have me, bro. Peter shared his number and address with me. This was perfect. I knew from Dad that Mr. Lewis had a home office, and if I could sneak in, maybe I could find some evidence and prove Mr. Lewis was the fraud Dad said he was. The next morning, I showed up at Peter's mansion and was blown away. It was ginormous. It even had 2 Olympic-sized pools. Peter gave me a tour of his massive house, showed me every single room except 2. Why aren't we going into those 2 rooms?
One's Dad's office and the other? It's just private. Come on, let me show you the kitchen.
Of course, his uneasiness only made me more intrigued. Later, as we were having snacks, I excused myself to the bathroom and snuck into one of the 2 rooms, hoping it was the office. But just as I was about to open the door, someone grabbed my shoulder.
Miko, the bathroom's the other way. Why are you here?
I just got lost. I was terrible at lying, but Peter believed me instantly.
Oh, no problem. Well, since you're here already, I want to show you something that I've never shown anyone. Also, because I've never had a friend over before.
He then pulled out a mysterious box from under the dusty bed.
Things haven't been the same since Mom left us. She was my favorite person and my best friend. Dad thought putting all her stuff in this room would make us forget, but it's the opposite. It's been really tough, Miko.
Seeing Peter vulnerable made my heart go out to him. Now you have me. I'll always be here for you.
Thanks, bro.
When I got home, I kept thinking about my revenge plan. No matter what, I didn't want to hurt Peter. He was really growing on me, but I had to stand up for my dad too. It wasn't Peter's fault his dad was a jerk, and I hoped once he learned about his dad's dirty deeds, he'd hate him too. In the following days, Peter and I really bonded, and I couldn't help but notice how naive he was.
OMG, OMG. Bella Porch messaged me. Dude, she's asking me to send her $5,000 because she's stranded on some island. We have to help her. She's my favorite TikTok star.
What? I mean, bro, seriously look closely. It's a fake account, man.
Oh, you're right. I'm such a dummy. For a second, I was on cloud 9 that Bella messaged me. You know I adore her. She's so cute and...
As Peter went on and on about Bella Porch, I found myself feeling weirdly jealous. It was then I realized I kind of had a crush on Peter. One time, as Peter was on the ground playing football, I couldn't help thinking that he looked kind, well, hot. Suddenly, an annoying voice interrupted me.
Why are you looking at him like you're in love with him?
Haven't you learned to mind your own business?
Oh, Mikhail, I did some digging and boy was I shocked. It all adds up now.
And then he showed me some pictures of me. That's my sister Armani. You dumbhead. We're twins. See this picture now, get a life, bro, and delete my sister's pictures from your phone before I break your face. That was close. But then during recess, Josh joined us and placed a whole box of Snickers in front of Peter.
Hey bro, I wanted to talk to you. I've been in therapy and I've realized you were right. I needed to deal with my anger issues, and I really need to apologize for the way I've behaved with you. I'm trying to change, and I'm really sorry.
Yeah, right, but Peter totally fell for it.
Oh, thanks, Josh. That means a lot, and I only wish you well. Forgiven and forgotten. Oh, by the way, I'm throwing a party this weekend to showcase some of my new artwork. You guys should come.
A party was the perfect opportunity. Opportunity to break into Mr. Lewis's office because Peter would be busy. I just had to keep an eye out for this, Josh. And once I had the evidence, I'd come out with the whole truth to Peter. So when nobody was watching at the party, I sneaked into the office, desperate to find something incriminating. But moments later, the door swung open and Peter entered.
Got lost again.
Yeah, your place is like a maze, man.
I know, right? Come on, let me show you out.
Just as I was walking out with Peter, someone from behind grabbed my wig and pulled it hard. I turned around to see it was Josh and my long hair had come undone.
See? I told you. So now do I get the $1,000?
What?
Yeah, I told him you're a girl, and I did some more digging on you. You and your brother are the kids of that millionaire who's poor now, the one who used to work for Peter's dad.
I didn't believe Josh, but it looks like I'm always an idiot. Serves me right for trusting anyone. And I don't know why you deceived me. And I don't even want to find out. Maybe you also came to do what your dad did.
Peter, you don't know everything. Let me explain.
All I know is that you pretended to be my friend and you lied to me. Please just leave.
Peter.
Guards escorted her out of here.
With my head hung low, I made my way back home. And the next morning, I was horrified to find my face all over social media. Apparently, Josh had uploaded a clip from the party, and everyone had something negative to say about me. When Mikhail learned what I'd done, he was also unhappy. He had told me not to seek revenge, but I'd ignored his advice. Naturally, through all of this, I guess Mikhail, was also kicked out of school. I just shut myself up in my room and Dad came to talk to me one night. I just broke down and ended up telling him about my crazy plan and how far I'd gone.
Oh, honey, I feel so terrible about this and I should have told you sooner. The thing is, I made an awful mistake at Mr. Lewis's company. I allowed my greed to get the better of me, so I stole some money. I know it was wrong and I'm really ashamed of myself. I got caught and naturally Mr. Lewis fired me. I lied about him. He is the fraud. He's actually a kind man who could have sent me to jail, but he spared me and he didn't take my money from me. I just never saved anything. I didn't have the courage to tell you kids the truth and I'm so sorry.
Seriously, Dad. Like, how could you? OMG, you're the one who's a fraud. I can't do this right now. Mikhail was equally stunned to learn the truth about Dad. We both stopped talking to him for weeks. But one day, as Mikhail and I were watching TV, Dad came to us in tears.
I know I'm asking a lot here, but I can't bear the silent treatment. You're both my world, and I'll do whatever it takes to make it up to you. I'm really sorry for what I brought on this family.
Dad, you realized your mistake. That's what matters the most.
We'll get through this together, all three of us. After finally knowing the truth, I felt even worse for deceiving Peter. I tried calling him to apologize, but he never picked up, so I wrote everything out in a letter to mail it to him. Hey Peter, I'm writing this letter to say sorry for all the messed up things I did. I can't begin to explain how much it sucks to realize that I hurt you. I'm really sorry, Armani. A few weeks later, McCann dropped the best news ever. He and Dad were finally ready to start the business in a new town. I was excited about the fresh start, but I couldn't ignore the sadness I felt at the idea of being so far from Peter. A night before our flight, I was up in my room when I heard voices downstairs, and I rushed down to see Peter in our living room.
Wow, you both are really twins. Anyway, Armani, I'm still mad at you, but that letter you sent really made me think admitting your mistakes takes a lot of courage, and you showed that you have it, and I want to move past this. I know you're leaving tomorrow, but that doesn't mean we can't still be friends.
I don't deserve a friend like you, Peter, and I'm sorry for hurting you. Can you really forgive me?
Maybe, if you take me out for some ice cream.
I'd love that. Let's go. Hello, I'm Annabelle from Maryland. Please like and subscribe. My parents were both computer specialists who worked from home, so they were always around to shower me with their love. They'd throw me big birthday parties in our backyard and invite the whole neighborhood. Everyone around liked us because my parents were kind and friendly. I looked a lot like my mom, but I took my dad's brown hair, which I loved. But once in first grade, some mean girls started teasing me about it.
Hey, Annabelle, how many birds live inside that nest on your head?
Oh God, you have spiders coming out of your nose again.
What? No, I don't.
But it means you look. The other kids started to laugh, and I kind of became popular after that. People thought I was funny. My life in Maryland was good until one day in the 4th grade, I got home from school to find my parents running all over the house and packing.
Annabelle, go upstairs and take only your most important things.
What are we going on holiday?
Annabelle, just go.
I packed my favorite sweater, some gadgets, and my favorite book. I fell asleep reading in the car while Dad drove miles away from our home. Hours later, I woke up in a cabin deep in the wood. Where are we?
This is our new home.
Huh?
Yes, and tomorrow you'll be starting a new day at your new school.
What? I was so confused and angry. My parents had just moved without even telling me. All my friends were back in Maryland, and I left without saying goodbye. When I asked my parents why we moved so fast, they just said it was related to their work and left it at that. The next day, I joined my new school and I made new friends. And my life went on until one day, in the 7th grade, Mom and I were in the grocery store when I spotted a man who kept looking at us. I tried ignoring him, but then I saw him making call, and I heard those words.
I found them.
Mom! See that man in black? He's been following us. Her face went pale, and suddenly she took my hand and ran out the door. I saw the man chase us, but we managed to escape. And that night, we had to move again. Are you guys going to tell me what's going on?
The kind of work we do, it makes US special.
What do you mean?
We're like undercover detectives.
But detectives are always out searching for things, and you two are always at home on your computers.
Then we're computer detectives.
I knew he was lying, which made me more frustrated, and my parents even told me not to become close friends with anyone. I didn't see the point anyway, since we'd probably just move again. One day, in 10th grade, I was putting stuff away in my locker when this pretty girl leaned against the wall and kept staring at me. Can I help you with something?
Hi, I'm Layla, your neighbor. We just moved in next to you.
I think you're mistaken. I don't have any neighbors.
Yes, you do. We moved into the old abandoned cabin.
Oh, that place! I thought it was haunted.
The ghost of the haunted cabin would like to be your friend.
I laughed and we started hanging out. After that day, I could guess from her worn-out shoes and bag that she wasn't well off, but she always knew who was wearing which brand and seemed to be really into fashion. Her dream was to be a big designer in Paris one day. One day at recess, I caught her looking at the necklace I was wearing, and I asked her if she'd like to try it on.
How does it look?
Better on you than me. It really suits you. Keep it.
Really? Oh, thank you so much.
A few days later, we were walking home when I felt someone was following us. I turned around to see a really cute guy walking a few steps behind. Do you think that guy is stalking us?
Oh, him. He's my brother, Kyle.
Wow, he's cute.
Not you two. Please promise me that you'll never fall for my brother like the other girls. He's such a douchebag.
I promised I'd ignore his existence, which was hard because he was drop-dead gorgeous. Just as Layla and I got to my house, my parents appeared at the front door.
Who is this?
She's my friend from school, and we're also neighbors. Mom and Dad looked at each other, then pulled me inside, slamming the door in Lila's face.
We have to move again.
What? No way! I'm not moving anymore until you guys tell me what's going on. And this time, I want the truth. Don't treat me like a kid. My parents finally told me everything.
We are in witness protection. I testified against the mobsters when you were younger, and that's why we've been on the run ever since.
What? So we're in danger?
Not if we stay clear from people. We just can't trust anyone right now.
My mind started spinning and I couldn't even eat dinner. The thought of being in danger made me sick. Later that night, I was half asleep when I heard some noise downstairs. I quietly crept to my parents' room, but it was empty. Mom, Dad! My heart was beating like crazy when suddenly Layla's brother walked in. What do you want? Did you do to my parents?
What? My dad's van got stuck in the mud and your parents are outside helping him. They sent me to get a crowbar.
Oh, it's by the fireplace. I followed him outside and saw Mom, Dad, Layla, and her parents pushing the van. Once it was done, everyone came to our house for coffee. My parents didn't look so scared anymore, so I guessed we were staying. Just then, Layla sprung up and asked me if we could go to my room. And when we entered, she threw herself on my bed.
Oh, your bed is so comfortable.
Okay. Don't you have one?
No, I sleep on the couch and my stupid brother gets the bed because he's older than me.
I knew they were poor, but I didn't know things were that bad. Why do you hate your brother so much?
Because he gets everything. I mean, parents are always favoring him.
Since Layla started opening up to me, I decided to open up to her too. And I ended up telling her my parents' secret.
Wow. So you and your parents are like special undercover people?
Yeah, you could say that.
That is so cool.
Just then, Kyle came to my door and said they were going home. He looked directly at me while I spoke to Layla, and I blushed. Layla clearly noticed it because as she was leaving, she whispered in my ear,
"Remember your promise?"
The next day at school, the principal had a shocking announcement to make. She said that someone had broken into the cheerleaders' locker room the day before and stolen many wallets, watches, and cell phones.
We have a hooded figure caught on the security footage, and when I identify the culprit, he or she will be expelled. But if you come forward and confess, I'll be willing to consider another punishment.
Later that day, I was in the library trying to reach a book when suddenly Kyle appeared next to me and took it down. I mumbled to thank you and turned to leave, but I suddenly stumbled, and just as I was about to fall, he caught me, and I couldn't help looking into his blue eyes.
What's going on here?
He just helped me get the book. After Kyle was done, Lila walked with me quietly down the hallway, but then she suddenly stopped.
I have to tell you something, Annabelle. I think Kyle stole all the things the principal was talking about.
What? Why do you think that?
Because he's done it before in our old school.
I was shocked. Layla stayed back for some after-school club that day. And as I was walking back home, Kyle, well, suddenly joined me.
We could walk together, if you don't mind.
Okay, if you insist. He tried striking up a conversation, but I kept my answers really short. Just then, I tripped on a rock and he caught me before I hit the ground, but I quickly pulled away.
Annabelle, did Layla say something about me?
As a matter of fact, she did. Did you steal all that stuff from the cheerleaders?
Gosh, no, I'd never do that. Listen, Layla hates me because our dad left her mom from my mom. She's been making my life miserable since forever by making up awful stories about me.
He looked so genuine that I couldn't help believing him. We took a walk by the riverside and spoke some more, and I felt butterflies every time he looked into my eyes. And when he dropped me home, he gave me a quick kiss on the cheek. I couldn't stop thinking about him the whole night. But the next day at school, Layla approached me, looking upset.
I thought you were a good friend, but I guess you're more desperate to be with my brother. Yeah, I came home early and I saw that kiss.
Wait, Layla, please! But she stormed off and ignored me the whole day. After school, I saw her by her locker and walked up to her, and she looked startled. Before she could shut her locker, a couple of watches fell to the floor. Where did you get these? And what else do you have in there?
They're mine, of course, and none of your for business.
You stole those from the cheerleaders.
No, I didn't. I found these things in Kyle's room, and now I'm returning them before he could sell them, and I'm covering his butt. See what a good sister I am.
Stop lying. If you don't confess to the principal, I'll tell her. Suddenly, Layla dropped to her knees, crying.
Okay, yes, I took them. I have a problem. I can't help it. I want to be able to afford beautiful things, and sometimes when I see the girls here with their branded stuff, it makes me feel crazy. I know it was wrong, and I'll go to the principal tomorrow, okay? But please don't tell anyone yet, especially Kyle.
I promised that I wouldn't, and I said I'd go to the principal with her, and everyone had to bring their parents for the first class. As my parents explained their fake computer job to my classmates, Layla suddenly spoke up.
Your computer specialists? Well, that's not what your daughter says. In fact, she makes up these tall stories about how you're undercover detectives who testified against the mobsters, and now you're on the run. Clearly, Annabelle has a lying and attention-seeking problem.
My parents' faces turned white, and I just couldn't believe Layla had announced my secret. They signaled at me to come out, and Layla leaned over and whispered,
"See you never again."
My parents were furious that I told Layla everything. I'm so sorry. I thought I could trust Sir. We frantically started packing, but just as we were leaving, we heard a screeching car coming towards our house, but it was a police car.
We were alerted by someone that you might be in danger, but we came here to tell you that the threat to you guys is gone. The mobsters who have been after you were arrested earlier this week, and just today they were sentenced to life in prison. You're safe now.
My parents and I were overjoyed. We didn't have to run anymore, but I certainly had some business to take care of in school. Went back and marched straight to the principal, and moments later, she ordered Layla to open her locker. All the stolen items were found. Her parents were called in, and she was expelled. She turned furiously to her dad.
It's all your fault. You made me crazy by leaving. Mom, am I always giving everything to Kyle and not me?
Your mom and I got divorced because that's what we both wanted, and Kyle works 2 jobs to help me. He has things because he earns them while all you do is complete.
As Layla was storming off, she suddenly leapt at Kyle, but I pushed her back. Her dad took her away, and soon after, I found out that Layla had been sent to live with her mom. Kyle asked me out, and we dated all throughout high school. After we graduated, I was going to study abroad. A few hours before my flight, I met Kyle at our favorite spot by the river.
I got you something. Close your eyes.
He put something around my wrist, and I saw that it was a silver bangle with our names carved on it. Wow, this is beautiful.
Yeah, no more charm bracelets. I don't want you getting stuck on another boy's sweater.
Never. I like being stuck right here, and I'll be coming back to you, Kyle.
Hi, I'm Valerie from Philadelphia. Please like and subscribe. Growing up, I thought I had the coolest mom. She was a professional gymnast who'd won tons of competitions, and I wanted to be just like her, the best at something. But no matter how hard I tried, Mom always said I could do better, and she kept comparing me to others. Mommy, I won second in the art contest.
What is this? The neighbor's daughter draws like Picasso, and her art was published in a magazine.
Mom, I came in third in the math quiz.
Well, that's disappointing. Your cousin just skipped 2 grades because she's a genius.
Mom always had something to say. Your cousin's a genius, and she's so perfect, and her farts smell like flowers. In 6th grade, I really started enjoying soccer and joined the team, but I hated it when Mom came to the games. She would shout instructions at me nonstop, and once at a match, she pulled me aside during halftime.
What are you doing? You haven't scored a goal once.
But I helped others score goals, and we're winning.
But no one's noticing you. You want to be a star or someone's sidekick.
I could feel Mom's eyes on me in the second half, and I didn't want to disappoint her again. My teammate was kicking the ball down to the goalpost, and suddenly I ran after her. I tackled the ball away and scored the winning goal myself. Our team won, but everyone was angry at me for stealing the ball from my teammate. I felt terrible, but Mom was ecstatic.
Did you see that my daughter scored the winning goal? Take that, losers!
I left the soccer team, but soon after, Mom took me to my first ballet, and I just knew what I wanted to do with my life. I'm going to be a ballerina, Mom. Mom encouraged me and hired a private instructor who trained me hard for the next few years. And in 9th grade, Mom enrolled me in a fancy private school which had its own ballet team. On my first day, I was just signing up for the ballet club when I heard loud voices behind me. I turned around to see a gorgeous girl walk in, and for some reason, everyone seemed excited to see her. I thought I'd find out who she was, so I walked over with a form. Hi, are you signing up too? You can take this.
These forms are for nobodies like you. I'm already in.
Wow, what's with the attitude? And who are you?
I'm Tatiana's daughter, you fool.
What? Tatiana was a ballet superstar and my idol. I'd have to compete with her daughter. Okay, so having a famous mom doesn't mean you're any good because I've never even heard of you. I walked off before she could reply. Her name was Anastasia, and even though I'd played it cool, I was definitely intimidated. On the day of the auditions, I realized that my ballet shoes were missing. I had no choice but to borrow some spare ones for my performance. I calmed myself down as I stepped onto the stage, but just then I spotted Anastasia grinning at me from a corner, and I knew she had something to do with my shoes. I felt so bothered that I just couldn't focus. As I did a jump, I suddenly lost my balance and stumbled to the ground. I ran off the stage, my face blazing, and Mom was even angrier.
Tatiana's daughter did this. I went with that witch to school, and she was so aggressive and competitive. Of course, her daughter's just like her.
I was shocked the next day when the ballet teacher called me and said I'd been selected. I had no idea what changed her mind. Later, as I was putting stuff in my locker, Anastasia came and slammed it shut in my face.
Wow, you're such a cheater. You're only on the team because you're rich. Mommy bribed the principal. Yeah, I saw her here today. What was she talking about?
You're one to talk. I know you hid my shoes, and you keep using your famous mommy's name any chance you get. Well, now we're both here. May the best ballerina win. But I couldn't help wondering if Mom really had done something to get me on the team, so I asked her.
The principal and I are old friends. She owed me a favor.
Mom, that's cheating. I messed up.
You listen to me, Valerie. I will not have your chances ruined because of one mistake. Sometimes, to get ahead, you have to play a little dirty. Do you want to be on the team or not?
The truth was, I wanted it more than anything. It felt wrong, but I couldn't miss this chance. And by 11th grade, I'd worked so hard that I was the best in my class. Anastasia was really good, but I was better. We were soon performing in the year-end musical, and the teacher told us that professional ballet dancers would be attending. I knew Anastasia was burning because I had the lead role. Well, I'd earned my place. One rainy afternoon, I just picked up my new ballet dress from a shop, when suddenly a cyclist came charging down the pavement at full speed. I managed to jump out of the way but slipped on a puddle. I was about to land hard when someone caught me.
Whoa, gotcha!
I saw a boy with messy hair smiling down at me. Oh my God, you saved my life!
You're welcome, but you wouldn't have actually died.
Oh, I'm a ballerina. I can't afford to get injured, especially right now, so thank you.
Thank me by having lunch with me?
I can't. I don't have time to spare. And suddenly my stomach growled loudly.
Looks like you don't have time to eat either. Come on, I just saved your life.
And I gave in. His name was Seth, and he was in college. I was having such a good time that I hadn't even realized 2 hours had gone by. As he was leaving, he asked for my number. I didn't have much time to date, but he was cute and it was hard to say no. We began texting each other, and soon his messages became the highlight of my day.
Why are you always grinning like a moron these days? Is it a boy?
It's called None of Your Business.
So it is a boy. Well, if you have time to date, you're clearly not working hard enough.
Maybe some of us can do it all and still be the best. Seth and I went on our first official date soon, and being with him made me happy, so I made space for him in my crazy busy life. A few days later, I walked into school to find the halls buzzing with excitement, and I discovered it was because Tatiana was visiting. Sometime later, I went into the changing room, and I stopped short when I saw her there, my idol in the flesh. But just then, I noticed Anastasia and Tatiana started screaming at her.
You're telling me someone else got the lead in the school play? That's because your technique still isn't perfect. Why aren't you pushing yourself harder?
I work as hard as I can. Mom, I'm still one of the best.
There's no such thing. You're either the best or you're nothing. Oh, for God's sake, don't start crying. You know I can't stand it.
Saying that Tatiana left, my idol was a witch. And for once, I felt sorry for Anastasia. Hey, are you okay?
Valerie, were you spying on me? Did you hear everything?
I won't tell anyone. And your mom's wrong. Anastasia, I've seen how committed and talented you are. She's being unfair.
Who do you think you are, Mother Teresa? Did I ask for your pity? My mom's the best, and I will be too. I'm not gonna be nothing. You'll see.
Wow, these two were crazier than my mom. That afternoon, as I was leaving school, I was surprised to see Seth outside, leaning against a fancy car. Seth, what are you doing here?
Hi, I'm here for Miss Tatiana. I'm her driver.
OMG, your boyfriend is our poor driver. I thought you would have aimed a little higher, Val. Oh, maybe you can come work for us as the maid. The driver and the maid. So cute.
Seth's face turned red, and he got into the car silently. Tatiana soon joined them, and he drove off and he asked me to meet him the next day.
I'm not poor. I make good money, but I did lie that I'm in college because I wasn't sure what you'd think of me.
Why aren't you in college, Seth?
I'm taking a break. I haven't figured out what I want to do yet.
How can you live like that with no goals? You can't just be a driver. I regretted my words as I saw his hurt face.
I really admire you, Val. But there is more than one way to live. Your way doesn't have to be right for everybody.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
Look, I want to take my time to find my passion and enjoy every moment like this one.
Suddenly, he leaned in and kissed me, and my heart soared. One night, as I got home from a date, I found Mom in panic.
Valerie, where were you? Why weren't you answering your phone?
Oh, I guess the battery died.
Do you know how worried I was when your instructor called and said you never turned up for rehearsal?
I stared at her in shock. How had I forgotten about my rehearsal completely?
You were with Seth, weren't you? Valerie, you have to break up with that boy.
But why?
Because he's a distraction and he's making you lose your focus. He has no goals or ambition.
You hardly know him. Mom, he's amazing and he cares about me.
But he doesn't get you. He's not right for you. You can be a superstar. Why are you letting him bring you down?
I missed one rehearsal. Big deal.
You would have never said that before you met him.
I felt so angry at Mom. Seth wasn't like me, but he made me happy. The school musical was the same day as my birthday, and Seth took me for a little picnic by the beach before dropping me at school. But suddenly, the car came to a stop in the middle of nowhere.
Don't worry, I'm sure it's nothing.
But the car just wouldn't start. This can't be happening. Why did I ever agree to go out with you today? It took a while for a cab to reach us, and I left without even looking back at Seth. But I still arrived 20 minutes after showtime, and I cried as I watched Anastasia out on the stage as the lead. Mom drove me home in complete silence, but I could feel her disappointment, and mine was even greater. So later that night, I decided to end things with Seth.
I'm really sorry, Val, but that could have happened to anyone.
No, Seth, it wouldn't have happened to me before. I would have been focused on only the show. Look, my career will always come first, and you'd understand that if you had some real goals in your life too. There was silence, and suddenly he hung up. I knew I'd hurt his feelings, and I felt devastated too, but it was the right thing to do. The next day, I was dreading seeing my team or Anastasia at school, but mostly I was feeling heartbroken over Seth. I went into the empty locker room and broke down into tears. Moments later, Anastasia came in. You're here to rub last night in my face? Go ahead, get it over with. You won. You're the best. Your mom must be so proud of you now.
Actually, she isn't. She made sure to remind me that I only got the lead because you didn't show up.
For a moment, we just sat there quietly. I saw you on stage last night and you were amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Anastasia got selected by a famous dancer right after the musical. After high school, I got into a great dance academy in New York and soon joined the ballet company. I reached fame and success quickly, and I was living my dream life. and Mom was finally proud. A year later, I went back home for some shows, and to my surprise, I bumped into Anastasia one day. She looked different, and I was shocked to learn that she'd given up on professional ballet.
I'll always love ballet, but I just couldn't take all that pressure. I'm not like Mom or you, so I left it and I started a dance studio for young kids.
She looked so much happier now, and I was happy for her. One night, as I was performing, I suddenly spotted a face in the front row that made my heart skip a beat. Seth! After the show, he was waiting outside my dressing room.
I'm a journalist now, and I was in town to cover a story. I had to come see your show. You were magical, Val, and I'm so proud of you.
That means a lot. Thanks.
Got time for coffee with an old friend?
I was so happy to see him that I said yes. We kept seeing each other for the next few weeks, and I realized I'd really missed having him in my life. But a few days later, I found out I was being sponsored to go on a world tour by my company. I would be an international star. I met Anastasia and told her the amazing news, but she sensed something was bothering me, and I told her everything about Seth.
You should totally date him.
But I'm about to leave for a world tour. I won't have time for him, and I can't have any distractions.
That's your mom talking, Val. Listen, you can have all the fame and money in the world, but what's the point if you have no one to share it with? Being successful doesn't mean you have to be alone.
Anastasia was right, and the next day I met Seth and told him everything. This time, I don't want to choose. I don't want to give up one dream for another, but I'm moving soon for my world tour. And
Val, I wouldn't dream of holding you back. I travel for work all the time, and I can move to Europe while you're there. We can make this work. I let you walk away from me before, and I don't want to do that again. I love you, Valerie.
I love you too, Seth. Hi, I'm Lorna from Nashville, and this is my story. Please like and subscribe. I grew up as an only child, and it was pretty lonely because my single mom was always busy. She'd mostly forget my birthdays or any promises she made. Mom, you promised you'd take me to the beach for a birthday picnic.
The sea and the beach will still be there next weekend, Lorna. But without my job, I won't be able to raise you.
Mom worked as a chef at a big restaurant, and I enjoyed watching her cook whenever I tagged along with her to work. That soup looks tasty.
I need to use the bathroom. Don't touch anything.
As soon as Mom left, I picked up a ladle and leaned over to scoop up some soup. Oh, it was so good. As I went in for another spoonful, suddenly my removable braces fell into the pot.
Lorna, what are you doing there?
Nothing. I quickly moved away, and she hurried with a bowl and dished out some soup.
We have a very important guest in the restaurant. No distractions, please.
When she went out again, I frantically searched for my braces, but moments later, she came into the kitchen crying.
I just got fired because the important guest found this in his bowl.
I am so sorry, Mom.
Ever since you came, my life has been a roller coaster.
I was heartbroken when she said that. After that, she changed towards me even though I said sorry like 1,000,000 times. She managed to get some part-time jobs, but was having trouble making ends meet. So eventually, when I was in 7th grade, we had to move from our nice apartment in the city and go live with Grandma in a small town. We hadn't met Grandma in ages, and she hugged me tight.
Oh, you've grown so big, Lorna.
Mom just sulked and took our bags upstairs to her old room. Grandma made an amazing supper, and I was having a great time, but Mom was still in a bad mood. And then she had the strangest conversation with Grandma. I don't want certain people to know that we're here.
That's kind of impossible, dear. It's a small town.
We're only going to be around for a few months till I get another job. Just don't talk about us with anyone.
But I like Grandma's house. Please, let's just stay here for good. Mom just ignored me and walked off.
We'll convince her to stay. Don't worry. Now you go to bed because tomorrow is your first day at your new school.
The school I was going to was actually Mom's old school, and Grandma took me there the next morning while Mom stayed in bed. As I walked through the corridor, I saw this boy with big glasses hanging from his locker.
Hello, can you help me down?
How did you get up there?
My stupid older stepbrother and his friends.
I was as short as him, so it was a bit difficult getting him down, but we both ended up in a heap on the floor.
Thanks. I've never seen you around before.
Oh, I'm new. My name is Lorna.
What's that smell?
What smell?
It's coming from your bag. Do you have dead skunks in there?
When I opened it, I saw that Grandma had packed me lunch, and it was leftovers from last night, and it didn't smell right. The boy ran away without even telling me his name. But when I got to class, I saw him there and he instantly yelled.
Hey everyone, there's the stink bomb I was telling you about.
That's how he paid me back for helping him? Everyone pinched their noses as I sat down with my stinky backpack. Right behind that jerk, whose name was Brad. Hey, idiot, I'm hanging you back on that lacquer later.
I know what I did was wrong, but I've been waiting for a long time for someone new to take my place in school.
What are you talking about?
I've always been the easy target for bullies, the one that gets thrown in the trash bin or gets the face stuck in the toilet.
So you want me to go through all that?
It's not that bad, you look strong. Good luck.
When I got home, I told Grandma it was a bad idea to put leftovers in my lunchbox.
I'm sorry, dear. Let's go get some lunch snacks from the grocery store.
No, she's not going to the grocery store, Mom.
Why can't I go to the store?
It's just a short trip. It'll be fine. No one knows who she is.
What?
Ugh, nothing.
Mom reluctantly agreed. And as Grandma and I roamed through the aisles, I suddenly spotted Brad walk in with a man who was probably his dad. Grandma, that's the boy who made all the kids laugh at me at school. Just then, Brad's dad saw us and approached Grandma.
Hi, it's been a while since I've seen you.
Oh, yes. Your son has really grown up.
Yeah, who's this pretty girl?
Oh, just a maid's daughter.
What? No, I'm not Grandma.
Grandma? She's your granddaughter.
Oh, God, yes, she is my granddaughter.
And then Brad's dad bent down and suddenly hugged me. Okay, what are you doing, weirdo? Grand, what's going on?
Honey, I wasn't supposed to tell you this, but he's your dad.
What? But Mom told me my dad wasn't alive.
Oh, that's what she said. Well, I'm very much alive, honey. And this is your twin brother.
What? Brad and I looked at each other, stunned. And then Grandma said we needed to leave. On our way back home, Grandma explained everything to me.
Your mom had just completed high school when she had you and your brother, and she wasn't ready to start a family. So she took you and asked your dad to keep your brother.
But that's so unfair. I always wanted a sibling because growing up, Mom was always busy and I was so lonely.
I know, love. It wasn't a fair choice for both you and your brother.
When we got home, Mom was waiting for us, smiling.
I got a job interview.
You told me I didn't have a dad, but I saw him today. And I have a twin brother too. Were you ever gonna tell me?
Gosh, I knew I shouldn't have come back here.
She had to find out one day. Things like this just can't be kept a secret forever.
This is a mess. Lorna, listen.
I don't want to hear anything you have to say. You lied to me all my life. The next day when I woke up, Dad was in the kitchen with Brad.
Why didn't you tell me you were in town?
Because we made an arrangement to never see each other ever again.
But you're here now. Don't you want to meet your son?
Mom looked at Brad tearfully, and he looked as angry as I felt.
I have a mom?
And I have a dad. The situation in the kitchen was really tense, so I took Brad to my room while our parents still argued. This used to be Mom's room, but now it's mine.
I can't believe I have a mom, my own mom, and a grandma and a sister. After Dad married my stepmom, things just went bad for me. She and her son are awful people.
Don't worry, you have me now.
I'm sorry about what I did at school.
I forgive you. Mom and Dad apologized to us both and said they'd been wrong to keep us apart. Brad and I told them it would take us time to forgive them. But secretly, we both thought it was the best thing we'd ever discovered. Mom decided to stay, and as time went by, Brad and I got really close. He started coming by often, and we had a lot in common. Grandma adored Brad, and slowly he and Mom started warming up to each other too. Like this one time, Mom was struggling to open a bottle of pickles, and he instantly got up to help her out.
Wow, you're a strong boy now.
She kissed him on his forehead, and his face just lit up. But at school, his older stepbrother Mason kept acting like a psycho. One day, in the 8th grade, Dad took us all out to a restaurant. And just as I was about to sit next to Brad, Mason pulled away my chair and I fell flat on my butt.
Mason.
What? I was pulling out a chair for the lady. I was being a gentleman, Dad. It's not my fault she's a clumsy idiot.
When Mason went to the bathroom, I smothered his seat with BBQ sauce without Dad noticing. Brad and I giggled as he took his seat.
What are goofballs laughing at?
It was so hilarious because when he got up, it looked like he pooped his pants. As we grew up, we learned how to defend ourselves against Mason and his friends. Until one day I found Brad sitting with them during recess. Hey, Brad, did you lose your way in your mind? Come on, let's find another table.
He doesn't want to chill with you anymore. Go find some other friends.
Brad? But he just looked away. What was going on? I caught up with him at the end of the last class. You want to tell me why you're hanging out with Mason suddenly?
Look, Lorna, my stepmom has a lot of connections, and she said she'll help me get into a great university on full scholarship if I help Mason pass his exams. So I got to do this. Okay.
That's ridiculous. You don't need her connections. You can get in on your own, and I'm sure Dad has enough money to pay for your college.
That's the thing. He doesn't. Dad's business was doing really poorly when he met my stepmom. Sometimes I think he just married her for the money. Now she controls everything. I have to do what she says. That's what Dad's told me to. It's just for some time. Mason will graduate soon.
He just walked away, and I suddenly felt so lonely again. He stopped coming over completely, and since Mom had gotten a job as a head chef in a nearby city, she'd become really busy again too. Thankfully, I had Grandma, but lately she'd been struggling with her memory, and one day I came home, and she couldn't remember who I was.
Who are you? What are you doing in my house?
Grandma, are you joking?
Go away before I call the police.
But it's me, Lorna! I had to wait outside till Mom came back. We took Grandma to the hospital, and the doctor said she had Alzheimer's disease. Why is this happening to Grandma? She's the only person I can talk to.
Sweetie, you can talk to me.
But you're never around. Mom started taking weekends off from work, spending more time at home so we could take care of Grandma together.
Lorna, I was very young when I had you and your brother, and it felt like it might be the end of all my dreams, but it's not true. I just want you to know that I love you both more than my career. Family is the most important thing, and it's taken me some time to realize that.
Thank you, Mom. I love you too. Grandma's illness brought Mom and I closer, but Brad just never came back to us. He was still hanging out with Mason and his stupid friends even after they'd graduated high school. And then, one day in 12th grade, I found him in the school parking lot, trying to break into a teacher's car. Brad, what are you doing?
None of your business. Go away.
No, you were doing something wrong. I'm not just going to forget what I saw.
Look, just get out of here.
I'm not going anywhere. Just then, Mason jumped over the school fence and started yelling at Brad.
What's taking you so long, dude? My boys are waiting outside.
I couldn't get the car open. I'm trying.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. They were stealing a teacher's car. Mason, I should have known that you were behind this.
When are you going to learn to mind your own business, Lorna?
I'm calling the principal. As I walked away, Mason grabbed my hand and I screamed. But just then, Brad pounced on him.
Don't touch my sister.
While they rolled on the floor wrestling, I ran straight to the principal for help. The principal called the police, and Mason was arrested for trespassing on school property and attempted theft. Turned out it wasn't the first car he and his gang had stolen. Brad, what happened to you?
Lorna, you don't know what I had to live with. Mason's mom is so evil. If I didn't listen to Mason, then he would tell his mom and I won't get to go to college.
Did you talk to Dad? Did you tell him that Mason is making you steal cars?
I tried, but he never believes me.
I hugged him as he cried. You should have told me. I would have helped you. I told Mom everything that happened, and she was so mad at Dad. She insisted that Brad come and live with us, and he was really happy too. Soon after, my college application replies came back, and to my delight, I've gotten in on a full scholarship.
I'm so happy for you, sis. My scholarship applications never got accepted, but at least you get to go.
I have enough money saved by now, and I'll pay for your studies. Brad, you don't have to worry about that ever again, because you are also my child.
As we celebrated in the living room, Grandma suddenly appeared.
Lorna, Brad, when did you get here? I'm so happy to see you.
Grandma remembered us, even if it was for just a little while, and it was a moment to cherish.
Hi, I'm Clover, and boy, have I got a crazy story to share with you. But before I spill the beans, please like and subscribe. Growing up, my mom and I were constantly butting heads. She was a marine biologist and dreamt of making me some kind of scientist too. Unfortunately for her, I loved fashion. The only person who got me was Mom's sister, Aunt Lydia. Aunt Lydia ran a small boutique in the city, and even though she didn't make much money, she was the happiest person I knew. She always encouraged me to pursue my interest in fashion and even taught me to sew. every day. I would skip school and run to my aunt's boutique to watch her work. And while I loved it, it didn't reflect well on my report card.
You got an F in science again? You go to the best school, you have the best tutors, and you still disappoint me. When I was your age, I didn't even have a school in my area. I had to walk 10 kilometers, cross a desert, swim through a canal, and walk over 3 bridges to reach the nearest school. It was tough, but I was determined to make a life for myself.
That's an exaggeration.
You don't get in the middle of this. You're ruining my daughter's life. Just you ruined yours.
You're jealous. I'm happier than you'll ever be.
If by happy you mean as poor as a street rat, then congratulations. You take the cake. Mom and Aunt Lydia fought a lot that night. And the next day, Aunt Lydia told me she was moving to another town.
Are you leaving because of Mom? No, sweetie. I'm leaving because I want to explore new opportunities. Then take me with you. I hate going to school anyway. You will finish your school and then follow your dreams. Now, I have something to keep you company while I'm gone.
Aunt Lydia handed me the keys to her boutique and the cutest Pomeranian puppy I'd ever seen in my life, Bonnie, and she became my best friend. Of course, I missed my aunt, but with Bonnie by my side, I felt less lonely. She followed me everywhere, and to my mom's horror, even slept in my bed. Even my friends adored Bonnie, and they gave me the idea to start a vlog based on her. I posted a bunch of videos with Bonnie, but what really picked up was when I started posting videos of us dressed in coordinated outfits. By the time I was 17, my vlog with Bonnie got really popular, and people even started reaching out for custom orders. I had my aunt's old sewing machine, so I started taking orders online and finally had my own business. Life was good, but Mom still thought I was wasting my time. Not that I cared. I was busy making my dreams come true. Then, one evening, I was out walking with Bonnie when I noticed a cute ribbon shop. I was checking it out when suddenly Bonnie started growling. I turned around and saw this girl staring in her face. I knew it was you! You're the girl who dresses up like her dog on her vlog.
Excuse me?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I meant that as a compliment. I'm a big fan. Her name was Daisy, and she told me she was new to the neighborhood. We talked for a while before I noticed that it was late, so I left. The next morning, I had one of my big arguments with Mom. So I was in a really sour mood, and as soon as I walked into my class, I saw Daisy sitting at the back. She saw me too and slid into the seat next to mine. We meet again! It's like we're destined to be friends. Anyway, we couldn't talk properly yesterday. You see, I had this really bad toothache. I was a kid when I slipped on a mop and broke my front tooth, and it just never got better. You want to see?
That's interesting, but I really need to focus on this class, Daisy.
But why do you need to study? You're so famous and talented. Studies are for losers. You know what? We should totally hang out after school, and I'll show you this cool place. This rock is shaped like a weird tarantula. It's...
Oh my God! Just stop talking! You're giving me a migraine! What part of I need to focus do you not understand?
I've been a bit louder than I thought in. The whole class fell silent while Daisy looked really hurt. I wanted to apologize immediately, but before I could, the teacher asked me to leave for disrupting the lesson. Later that day, I saw Daisy sitting in the cafeteria alone and walked up to her.
Can we talk? No. Need to focus on this spoon so I can bend it with my mind.
I'm sorry. I had a really bad argument with my mom and took it out on you. It's just that my mom doesn't get me. She just wants me to do whatever she's saying without thinking about what I want.
I get it. Parents can be so weird sometimes. My dad's a lawyer and wants me to be just like, but I want to be a stand-up comic. Do you want to hear a joke? Why does an ant never get sick? Because it has antibodies. Oh, one more. Why does the ant never smell bad? Because it wears deodorant. Get it? Get it. It's hilarious, right? I couldn't help laughing. And after that, we ended up spending the whole day together. Daisy was nuts, but she really appreciated my work and had all these amazing ideas for my business. I won't lie, it felt good to be taken seriously. Soon, Daisy started helping me with my videos, and she hung out at my house all the time. I enjoyed her company, but for some reason, Bonnie just couldn't warm up to her. Once, we were shooting in my living room one day, when suddenly Bonnie charged at Daisy and grabbed her pants. Daisy lost her mind and jumped in panic. They went round
round and round in circles before Daisy tripped and fell into this huge shelf full of Mom's medals and trophies, and everything came crashing down. Mom heard the noise and came running.
What have you done? I worked 850 hours every week to earn these!
Oh, wow. You did all that and they only gave you this junk? That's sad.
Who is this stupid girl? And why is she in my house?
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Daisy, Clover's best friend, and you must be her grandma, right? Listen, Grandma, I know you're very hurt that we broke these ugly old trophies, but in my defense, I was being chased by this cute but very ferocious dog, and I just happened to bump into the shelf. Daisy! She's my mom! Oh, so you're the dragon lady. She doesn't mean that. Mom, we're really sorry for breaking your stuff, but it was a genuine mistake.
I'm getting tired of your genuine mistakes. Clover, now clear this mess up, and I never want to see this girl in my house again. Am I clear?
After that day, Daisy was banned from my house, which made me so mad. It's not like that was gonna stop me from hanging out with her. Soon, it was time to fill out my college applications. I wanted to apply a design school, but Mom was on my tail to apply for a science program, and we were arguing every day. So one night, when Daisy invited me to hang out with her at this new amusement park, I decided to go because it could really use some fun. But 10 minutes into it, I got a frantic call from Mom saying that someone had broken into our home. I immediately took a cab back home and found Mom standing on the porch with Bonnie.
Are you okay? We're fine, thanks to Bonnie. I was getting dinner ready when she started barking, and then I saw this guy jumping off the backyard fence, so I called the police. I kept screaming, but you weren't in your room. Where were you?
I was hanging out with Daisy, but that's not important.
Really? Just like it's not important to tell your mom that you applied for a design school. I got your acceptance letter in the mail today.
I got accepted. Why didn't you tell me?
Because you're not going. You will go to a science college like I did. Now, I've already spoken to the dean of Harvard, and he's ready to slide a few grades if you do well in your first year in college.
But I want to go to design school. I'm good at this.
Even Daisy! Do you think I care what Daisy says? Also, you should stay away from her.
A lady in the neighborhood was telling me she'd heard Daisy's dad is known to be involved in some shady business deals. She's a bad influence on you.
Of course you don't approve of Daisy. How could you approve of anyone who makes me happy? First Aunt Lydia, now Daisy.
That's not fair, Clover.
Yes, it is. Just like it's fair enough to choose my own career path. I want to study design, so that's what I'll do.
Saying that, I grabbed Bonnie's leash and walked outside. I kept walking till I cooled down, and when I stopped, I realized I was in some unknown street. I was trying to figure out my way back when suddenly this car stopped out of nowhere, pushed me away, grabbed Bonnie, and left. I ran after the car, screaming for help, when I turned a corner and banged right into something, and I fell and passed out. When I woke up, I was in my room with Mom and Daisy staring in my face.
What happened? What is Daisy doing here?
She's the one who found you passed out in front of your school. What were you doing there?
My school, but I remember being out on a walk with Bonnie and then we got lost.
Oh, Bonnie! Someone kidnapped her! I have to find her!
No, have to rest. You're in shock. And as for Bonnie, I'll talk to my dad. I told you he's a lawyer, right? He has friends in the police department who can help.
Daisy spoke to her dad, and we filed an official complaint. But a whole week went by, and we got no leads. I even reached out to my older clients and posted on my vlog, but that didn't work either. I was running out of time and patience, so I decided to speak to Daisy if she could ask her dad to fast-track the case. But when I called her, she didn't answer her phone, so I went to her place. When I saw a truck parked outside and people were moving furniture from inside the house, I got closer, trying to figure out what was happening, when I heard a low growling. I looked around and figured that the noise was coming from one of the crates covered with a huge cloth. I lifted the cloth, and inside was Bonnie and a few other dogs that looked just like her. Bonnie saw me and started barking, and then someone sprayed something in my face. Suddenly, my head started spinning and everything went black. When I woke up, I found myself in the basement, with Daisy sitting in front of me.
Oh my God! What's happening, Daisy? Why am I here?
You talk so much. You're giving me a migraine. That's what you told me in class that day, remember? I wanted to punch your face, but I couldn't because I needed you to get close to Bonnie.
But why?
That's when Daisy told me how a couple of months back, her dad made a couple of bad investments and lost all their family money.
They lost our house, status, everything. Dad took this huge loan from a crazy mafia lady to start a new business. But that didn't work either. I guess he's just stupid. Anyway, now this mafia lady wants her money back. But obviously, we don't have any. So she gave us this crazy challenge to get her all these Pomeranian puppies. Apparently, these laybags are worth a lot. Also, they're super rare.
But what does this mafia lady want these dogs for?
Make a coat or something? Or is she just obsessed with puppies? How the heck am I supposed to know? We managed to get a few of them, but when I saw Bonnie on your vlog, I just knew I had to add her to the collection. So I came here, fooled you into being my friend, and waited for the right time to take Bonnie. Would have gotten to her way sooner, but this stupid dog almost bit my dad. He had to jump off the fence, and he broke his knee. He's been limping ever since.
So, it was your dad who broke into my house that night. How could I have been so blind to have trusted a snake like you?
No clue! Guess you're as stupid as my dad. Told you, I'm funny!
That's not funny.
I turned around and saw Mom standing in the doorway, along with Bonnie and a few policemen.
I always knew you were trouble.
Daisy growled at my mom before the police handcuffed her and dragged her away. Bonnie jumped in my lap and started licking my face.
How did you find me, Mom?
After Bonnie's kidnapping, I got paranoid and installed this tracking app on your phone.
What? Relax!
I didn't see you in your room, so I thought you might be at Daisy's.
I'm so sorry, Mom. I should have taken your advice and never trusted her blindly.
The truth is, you trusted Daisy because she showed faith in you, which I never did. And I'm really sorry. I've decided I'm sending you to Lydia next month. Her business is growing, and she could use an extra hand.
Really? I love you, Mom. You're the best.